I really am completely humbled by this turnout for a Monday night to have this many people in a room.
Are the Jets playing tonight?
No.
No, they played last night, didn't you?
If they played tonight, I wouldn't be here.
Didn't you read his tweets?
Yes, the Broncos are. I just really wish that everybody in the audience could feel the way I feel right now. It is something I don't take for granted. It is pretty much a backbone of my principle of everything is better than zero. And honestly, when you make a commitment to do a tour, you always, you can see how many Twitter followers you have and viewers and this and that, but people are living lives and have a lot going on. And for you guys to take the time out of your lives to come here and support me like this means a whole lot to me. Thank you so much. Thank you. So I wrote Crush It.
Woo!
And I've been thinking about why for a long time, actually. And it started hitting me in the last couple of weeks, actually. I realized that I wrote it out of a sense of responsibility. I've realized recently that what my mom did for me in instilling the kind of self-esteem that I walk around in this world with is extremely lucky and special. I can tell you right now, with no joke, that when I was 15 years old, and now let's understand what 15 is. You're now in high school. You're not a little kid anymore. When I was 15 years old, I truly walked around the world thinking that I was the best looking and smartest person. And I mean it. I mean it. I know you're laughing. I mean it. I truly felt that I was that guy. And that's a big deal. And the reason I started Wine Library TV was to build wine self-esteem. I was so tired of seeing grown men sweat when they were given the wine list in a business meeting, or people saying, well, I don't know, you pick it, or buying because of a rating. And so I started Wine Library TV for that reason. And so it's interesting. I guess I've realized now with Crush It, I wrote this book because everything has changed. Everything I believe in this book, every piece of it, the entire soul of this book was not possible 3 years ago. It just wasn't. You could say anything you want about having a shot at the American dream, but the fact of the matter was financial implications ruled the day. And the fact that you can now start a content-based business and it costs you nothing is something that you need to think about. The fact that you can build content on WordPress or Tumblr or 6 Apart or Blogger or any of these blogging platforms for zero. The fact that if you want to do video, they can be created for $200 for a flip cam now. So okay, I understand that cost, but boy oh boy, go tell some video people that you could put video up for $200 10 years ago. They crapped their pants.
HD at that.
The fact that you can distribute it through Tube Mobile or Blip TV for zero. Creation, distribution, zero. And now, because of word of mouth marketing, word of mouth, which has always been the backbone of building businesses and brands, is now zero because of things like Twitter and Facebook and all the other products. The entire cycle that used to cost millions of dollars. Oh, and by the way, you had to move to LA or New York to be discovered. And oh, by the way, somebody had to make a decision if you were good enough. Gatekeepers, people that were editors or directors, producers, had to decide if you had it. Let me tell you a quick story. When CAA signed me, which is the biggest talent agency in the world, I share agents with Oprah and Derek Jeter and Beckham. Ridiculous. When they signed me, they said, I gotta tell you something. One of the partners said, I gotta tell you something. He's like, if you came in here a year ago and said, okay, here's the pitch. I'm gonna sit in my office in New Jersey.
The dirty jurors.
The dirty jurors. And I'm gonna pick 3 or 4 wines a day and put them in front of a table. And I'm gonna do an online show on the internet that's 30 minutes long of me sitting and drinking those wines. We would have kicked you out of this office so fast, you wouldn't have been here for 2 minutes. The fact that you were able to accomplish this is amazing. And I remember thinking, it's not amazing. You think it's amazing because you're stuck in Hollywood mentality, in the old guard. It's not amazing. See, I wrote this book because I know that I'm not that special. I know that I see things a little early, and I know I'm willing to work my ass off to make things happen. And I know that I fundamentally care about people more than anybody in this room. And everybody, I just care more. I just want you to all know that. Setting the tone. I know all those things, but I still know this. I know that we're about to live in a very interesting economy of personal brand and opportunities. Everybody wants to be Oprah. But the bottom line is this. Donahue and Sally Jesse Raphael, they make some money too. And they're doing okay. And I think there's going to be a crap load of Donahues out there. And I think that's pretty amazing. I think it's amazing to me as I see this keep going, that in 5 years, that if you love gardening, or if you love babysitting, or if you love pumpkin pie, that there's some form of financial opportunity for you if you're going to build content around that. Now, I know what you're thinking. That's fine. But Gary, you're up there, and you're so charismatic, and you're so good looking, and you just are so knowledgeable. The fact of the matter is, you like that one? The fact of the matter is this. There's plenty of people monetizing the written word. TechCrunch and Huffington Post and Mashable, they're all making plenty of money, and it's written. You need to know who you are. It's not about doing it more like me. It's about doing what you're best at, not lying to yourself. You know, maybe you can't pull off video, but you can write like a champ. Understand your platform. Understand that it's not about what you say, but listening to the people that are passionate about the subject matters that you're passionate about. And understand that it takes an obnoxious, not a little bit, an obnoxious amount of hard work. But for all the people out there that don't love their job, without bullshitting me, how many of you are 100% happy career-wise right now? Raise your hand. All right, that's about 18%. To me, you're in now? You decided you're in?
99.
Here's what I know. It's really hard to get there. It's really hard to get to that place. Because really the only way you can be at that place, truly the only way at some level, is if you're completely in control and you're doing exactly what you want. It's very hard. I started Wine Library TV because I had one crack of 1% of not being happy. I didn't want to do retail anymore because shipping laws were scaring me. I just didn't think I could buy the jets just being a wine retailer. So I changed my story. But what I know is this. What I know is that I don't know if you can make $100,000 a year talking about rabbits, but I know that that if you work your 9 to 5, I'm not interested in making people quit their job. But I am getting very interested in people who are not happy who play 3 hours of Nintendo Wii, or watch every episode of Lost, or has every episode of Gossip Girl on DVD and can't wait to go up in there and watch Chuck Bass. Here's what I know. I know that if you're not happy, that the fact that you have an opportunity to build a business online with these new tools, that the internet itself is massively being underrated. The internet is 14 years old. The modern consumer internet is 14 years old. It's only been 14 years since AOL spammed your mailboxes with those DVDs and you heard that thing. 14 years. The audacity of us to think that this thing is not going to blow away print and radio and television. It's not even close. This isn't cable television. This is the absolute democracy of media. The fact that every one of us can go one-on-one with anybody we want tonight about any subject matter. That is game-changing, massively game-changing. And everybody in this room, and I would tell you the far majority of everybody in society, has completely underrated this whole movement. Completely and utterly underrated it. 5 years ago, every site that you techies in here talk about didn't exist. Facebook and Twitter didn't exist. It's crazy. That's crazy. You go back to 03, no YouTube either. The #2 search site in the world. I mean, this is big. This is epic. And to not recognize its significance and to not say to yourself, what would I do every day? What would I talk about? What would I engage in? Who are the kind of people that I want to hang out with? To not make that commitment as much as you can afford to. Bless you. I understand mortgages. I understand